Hi, this is Paz from Pictures, Noise and Words, and today I will be going through my ranking of the 11 studio albums from one of my favourite power metal bands, Gamma Ray. I'll be starting from my least favourite, ending up with my most favourite one. Gamma Ray, the band that Kai Hansen formed when he left Halloween. I don't really think they've done a really bad album. There's a few that haven't clicked with me, I think it's probably fair to say. But some of at least the latter half of this list, I think is really quite strong. But without further ado, I don't actually have all of them at the moment. But I'll give more details as we go along. But we'll start off with my least favourite. Now, I did have this on a expanded digipack, but I seem to have lost it. I think it must be in the same place as Halloween's My God-Given Right, because I don't like that one either. And this is a controversial choice because I know a lot of Gamma Ray fans like this one, and this is 1999's Power Plant. This one just did not click with me. I think it's probably because I really liked Somewhere Out in Space, and then I thought this was just leftovers from that. But it's not without its merits. Things like Anywhere in the Galaxy, I think is pretty strong. Razor Blade Size, quite good. Stranger Than the Night, I think is a fantastic track. Armageddon's not too bad, but stuff like Short as Hell, It's a Sin. Oh god, if I have to hear that again, it'd be a 3 Billion Years Too Soon. Heavy Metal Universe, I just did not like it. Wings of Destiny, no. Just didn't click with me. It wasn't what I wanted. I don't think the songs are as strong, apart from a few. Moving along. Next part on the list is a fairly new one. It isn't the latest one. But for me, this one only had 2 strong tracks on it. The rest were by the numbers, Gamma Ray, I must admit, and that's 2010's To the Metal. Title track's pretty good, even though it's a little bit derivative of Judas Priest. The song Rise, I think, is an absolute cracker. Empathy's not too bad, but the rest of it's very competent. Let me put it that way. Very competent without actually being memorable. I think it's probably a fair way to say it. I could stick it on in the background and I'll be perfectly happy with it, but ask me to sing anything other than We Will Rise, I'd be struggling to do it. So yeah, it was just Gamma Ray going through the motions, it felt like, without it actually being a bad album. So that's number 10. Number 9 is another, I think it was 2007's Land of the Free 2. I'm not sure if this was a way to rekindle the past from Land of the Free, which is a fantastic album of theirs. It's alright. It's a little bit derivative of like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, to the point where you can actually hear the riffs and think, hang on a minute, that's from Round the Ancient Mariner, isn't it? And that bit's from that. You know, when you're actually picking out songs, think they've just stolen it bits, haven't they? And that's the bit. Those are the things that I just not able to get past, I'm afraid. But it's got some good ones on. To Mother Earth's quite good. Empress is very good. Insurrection is a long one at the end. Is really good. So enjoyable, but there's a few bits I just can't get over, especially the derivative bits. Enjoyable, but I think they can do better than that. They can do better than stealing other people's ideas. Next on the list is I've only got this digitally, and that's the new one, Empire of the Undead, which I think's I thought it was pretty good. Opening track Avalon, which is a long one, is really good. Hellbent's pretty good. Empire of the Undead title track, that's also a cracker. I think I think the reason why it didn't really click so well with me is because these two were alright. and I was kind of a bit gamma-rayed out, so maybe I should put a bit more effort into listening to the new one. But every time I listen to it, I think, yeah, this is all right. Maybe it's me that's changed. I don't know. But it's not the worst thing they've done, and I think it was a step up from the last few that they had released. But they haven't done things since. It's 2014, so yeah, 6 years ago. I know Kai Hansen has done a solo album since, and they got the Pumpkins United, so they got other things on their mind. It's strange, really, because they got a new singer in, and they've not done an album with a new singer. It's a shame, really. I'd love to hear them. But yeah, not a bad. Wouldn't be my first pick to say, if you don't listen to Gamma Ray, listen to this one. Next on my list is the debut album, and I have to admit that giving this a bit of a lukewarm reception when it first came out, because I was all really excited. I was a bit of a Kai Hansen fan back in the day when he was in Halloween, and listening to this, thinking, it's got about 4 good songs on it, and the rest of it's all a bit meh, Lust for Life, Heaven Can Wait, Space Eater, great way to start it, and the title track, Heading for Tomorrow, is pretty good. That's very good. The Ballad, The Silence, it's alright. The rest of it, I could take or leave it, really. It has aged a little bit. What's what we're trying to get? It's aged a lot better than I expected. And I used to have it on vinyl, but it's one of those cases I've just not got round to replacing it onto CD, because my vinyl went when I needed I put food on the table, and I've just not replaced it. I have it digitally, but not actually got the physical CD. But overall, good album, aged okay, got some good cracking songs on it, Lust for Life and Space Eater. I love the groove in that, it's really good. Ralph Sheepers sounds good too. Moving on, we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4. In 6th spot is Sigh No More from 90. Did it say? Hang on. 1991. What is that long ago? So it's only a year between Heading for Tomorrow and Sigh No More. From now to I don't think there's any bad albums now, because I really like this, and surprisingly so, because I was quite lukewarm on the debut album, and I saw this in the shops. I thought that's just one of the worst covers I think I've ever seen. I just dismissed it, and it wasn't until a few years later, and I picked up one of their later albums, and I thought, this is really good. And then I went back, stumped my money up for this, and I'm quite glad I did. Songs like Changes, Rich and Famous, One with the World, and Dream Healer, fantastic. And my favourite song on here is As Time Goes By. What a great song that is. It's fast, and Ralph Sheepers gives a superb vocal performance on that. And it's quite a very different beast to Heading for Tomorrow, because that really felt like you listening to a Halloween album. This doesn't. It feels like you listen to a Gamma Ray album for once. But it's got Uli Kuch on it, which is the drummer that ended up filling the drum shoes in Halloween a few years later. Yeah, good solid album this. Yeah, highly recommended. I think they've done a remastered version, but yeah, got some good songs on that. Okay, top 5. Top 5, yeah. Next we have 2001's No World Order. I thought this was really, really good. After my disappointment of Power Plant, this felt like getting back on track. I wish this had followed Somewhere Out in Space, which obviously I'm going to get onto. But Dethroned Tyranny, that was brilliant. Heart of the Unicorn, Heaven and Hell, or Heaven or Hell, New World Order, Damn the Machine, solid. I mean, that's just really, really top quality Gamma Ray, and it sounds great. This is probably one of my favourite produced Gamma Ray albums. I love the guitar tone on it. It's fat but dry at the same time. There's only one I didn't really like. I think it's called Follow Me. Other than that, yeah, really strong one in discography for me. Yeah. Okay, into the top 4. This is quite a surprise one because I don't think many people rate it. I think they probably have PowerPoint higher than this, and that is 2005's Majestic. I thought this really solid stuff. This, especially coming after No World Order as well. I thought, they can't do much wrong in my opinion when during this period. My Temple, Fight, the epic Revelation, Majesty, Condemned to Hell. I mean, it's just really good, fast power metal in your face, really well produced, really well put together. This is Gamma Ray on top form for me. Highly recommended, bunch of great tunes. And I think these two probably benefited from having the same lineup. I think this had the same lineup from Somewhere Out in Space, I think. But you had Dan Zimmerman on drum. What a drummer he is! Henio Richter on guitars, and it seemed to be quite a comfortable lineup then. And it shows. I think they're very comfortable in what they were doing. Plus, good thing is, when you bring in a drummer and a guitar player that can write songs, some really good songs, especially Dan Zimmerman. What a great songwriter he is. I think it helps. I also think, in my opinion, that if Kai had stayed in Halloween, this is what Halloween would have sounded like. Feel free to disagree. Whereas Halloween moved, I think Andy Derris has a huge influence on Halloween and the way they sound, because he's a really good songwriter. So they write a lot more poppy type stuff, and there's not as much pop on here, but it's still just as accessible and listenable too. I mean, there's not much doing, they're power metal, isn't it? So there's not much different, so many crossovers. But yeah, I like to think that it keeps me warm at night, thinking that if Halloween had carried on with Kai Hansen, it would have sounded something along these lines. Right, into my top 3, and it is 1993's Insanity and Genius. I played this to death, to the point where I even got the singles that came with it as well. And I remember this being in one of the record shops where I used to live, and I kept going and thinking, should I get that, because Sign No More looked really rubbish, but I didn't listen to that. And Heading for Tomorrow was alright, and should I get it? And in the end I plumped for it, and it's one of the best decisions I think I've ever made, because it's got great songs, especially the first 2/3 of this are top quality. Tribute to the Past, were superb song. That No Return, Last Before the Storm, Future Madhouse, cracker song that is. And the cover of Gamma Ray, it's one of the ones that's just stuck in my brain, and it's one of those ones where the cover for me is better than the original. It's wonderful. Insanity and Genius is pretty good. 18 Years is a good ballad. Heal Me is a good one at the end. Really good, solid, classic heavy metal. Really didn't really sound much like, as you would do from Kai Hansen. Doesn't seem like it's still Halloween style power metal influences, but this is more of a Judas Priesty type of Gamma Ray album. Production is really in your face. Highly recommend it if you've not heard any of this. Listen, give Tribute to the Past a spin, which I will do after this video, and see if it ticks your boxes. So down to the last 2. Okay, in second place we have 1997's Somewhere Out in Space. Love this album. quite long. It's got 15 tracks on, and not all long songs. But these are big, epic songs. Beyond the Black Hole, Men, Martians and Machines, Somewhere Out in Space, Valley of the Kings, Lost in the Future, Watcher in the Sky. It's just chock full of great songs. I do think if they'd chopped 15 minutes off it, it might be number one, because it would have really made a nice tight affair. I could just get rid of, got Return to Fantasy, which is a bonus track, arguably. Get rid of that. Probably get rid of one of the Henry Richter's ones. The Winged Horse, I've never really cared for that really, so get rid of that, and it would have been a good tighter album. But I love the production on it. Some of the guitar work on this is stellar. Highly recommended. Is Gamma Ray on top form. Kai Hansen on top of his game. And number one, it's probably quite predictable, really, is 1995's Land of the Free. Released when grunge was happening, so I'm not sure how well it did, but it's quite well revered in power metal circles, not just Gamma Ray fans. Berlin Dreamland, what an amazing song that is. And Man on a Mission, it's so fast, and it just throws tempo changes around like confetti. It's wonderful stuff. Gods of Deliverance, it's all really fast stuff as well. Salvation's Calling, oh, Land of the Free is really good. Best of the Void's really good. It's an amazing album, and it just shows you how good power metal can be, even with all the tropes in there, like Willy guitars, and it's all about the songs, as far as I'm concerned. All about the songs. So there you have it. That's my ranking of the 11 Gamma Ray studio albums. If you don't know Gamma Ray, you wanted to start somewhere, obviously Land of the Free or Somewhere Out in Space, it's really good. And if you like that if you're after that sort of power metal sound, I would stick with sort of the mid-range Gamma Ray, Majestic, New Old Order, and maybe move on to the earlier ones, this and the debut one, a bit later on, because they are slightly different beast, I think, usually in production. So there we have it, Gamma Ray. Hope they come back soon. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching.